Yeah. So one of the brands that you're working with, they asked us, they were considering turning on Google Ads, and they asked what our recommendation is on when should a brand turn on Google Ads. And my gut feeling says it's somewhere around 500 orders per week, around 2,000 orders per month. But I really wanted to dive deep into our data and give them an exact answer and give everyone else an exact answer. So let's do that. So what we did was we plotted every brand that we have in one geography, which is India, and in a couple of similar spaces, which is personal care and apparel, both fast moving categories, similar ticket sizes. And we plotted out orders per week versus True ROAS for each of these brands. So just see at what stage are in the life cycle and what's the efficiency in getting returns on marketing spend. So this is interesting because this graphs out an entire life cycle of different brands, and I'll just walk you through it. What my insights from this. So in phase one, which is very early stage brands, this is basically brands that are generating less than 200 orders per week and have ROAS of less than 2.5. So neither have they optimized the marketing and nor they have the volumes to actually make a lot of insights. So what's happening over here is any brand that turns on Google in this phase is doomed to failure. You have you're trying too many things and you are not finding enough answers to actually build on top of your success. And that's why we see that no brand escapes this trap of low volumes and low ROAS. Only the brands that focus on Meta are able to escape this trap. And the reason is because Meta is very good at finding initial audiences. So if you have a product, pitch it on Meta's platform, and it will find you your first 1,000 customers. Once that's happened, once you have hit that number of 250 plus, then you can consider the platform. But let's see how this journey progresses. So if you are turning on Google at this stage, you are doomed. If you are staying on Meta, then you will escape to phase two. Now, what's phase two? Phase two is where you have hit ROAS of 2.5 plus. So for every dollar that is spending, you are getting $2.5. You're extremely happy. You feel that the sky is the limit. You're going to spend $100,000 tomorrow and make $250,000. Unfortunately, that won't happen. There's a limit to the sky. So you might think that you can keep spending and keep making money, but that just won't happen. The Meta's ad algorithms themselves will stop spending your money because there isn't enough prime audience for your product on Meta. Since you have not really built your brand, all you have done is found buyers for your product. What Meta is doing is just going to those buyers and similar people within people within a certain segment to the people who have bought your product earlier, and just keeps pitching your product again and again in front of them. We have seen that returning customer ROAS for Meta ads is extremely high because Meta does that a lot. It will just pitch your products again to the people who have bought your product in the past and bought similar products in the past. So it's targeting a niche audience, creating high value, but targeting a very niche audience. And Meta's algorithm struggles to break out of that because the platform is just not, Meta's platforms are not for search, they are for engagement. So it just pitches content it pitches products and content that the user is bound to like. It's not really answering user questions on what's a product that they're looking for. So you never really find new users. You just find existing users and you keep pitching to them. Point being, with only Meta, brands will always struggle to break this 1,000 order per week barrier. And the only way to break this barrier is to turn on other channels, which is what happens in phase three. A brand will turn on Google or some other channel, paid media, radio, Spotify, whatever it is. In this case, obviously, it's Google. A brand will turn on Google and they will be able to break this barrier pretty easily. They will go from 1,000 orders per week to 2,000 orders per week. But there's a huge downside. You are no longer pitching to a very high intent audience. You are pitching to a new audience who might convert to become your users or won't care about you at all. So while your volumes have gone up, your efficiency has gone down. And this continues as you go further and further down the line. Your efficiency will keep dropping as you hit home more and more volumes. And this is actually a fundamental limit of how much you can scale on ads. We'll come to that in a bit. The point being, to cross 1,000 orders per week barrier, you have to turn on Google Ads. And when you turn on those Google Ads, your efficiency will take a hit, but your volumes will go up. Now, at this point of time, you're going to face a crossroads. Now, one path of that crossroads goes down into purgatory. Uh, Here, you have uh, kicked your efficiency to the curb. You have turned on Google, you start spending over there, but you have not really found what's working for you, and you have not cut out what's dead. And so your efficiency keeps dropping. And after a point of time, your efficiency uh, just goes off the handle, and your volumes also start falling with it. And you think that, you know what, let's just go back to the good old days, but there are no good old days now. Your meta ads are also not working anymore. Your Google ads also not working anymore. You have spent way too much money and burned way too much cash. Uh, it's important that when you start scaling from Meta to Google, there's a phase where you run both of them slightly widely, but optimize quickly. Figure out what's working in parallel and what's not working in parallel. Because at this point of time, Meta is still telling you that, you know what, your ROAS is 3, Google is telling you your ROAS is 3.5, but actually both of them are not working well together. And that's why your blended ROAS is just tanking and you're losing money hand over fist. But if you do everything well, uh, then you hit your, uh, if you do everything well, then you are in the clear. You will keep getting a decent ROAS, and you can keep scaling on top of it uh, till about 5,000 orders per week. Beyond 5,000 orders per week, it's not really advisable to completely focus on Meta and Google as your primary channels. Beyond 5,000 orders per week, you have to focus on other channels. Meta and Google won't really give you a ROAS of more than 3 beyond that point of time. There's just not enough customers in one particular geography. You can expand geography, and try it again, but in one geography, it will be difficult to squeeze out more juice out of that lemon. And so that's about it. That's those are the different phases of a brand's marketing life cycle. How ROAS goes up initially as you're optimizing only Meta. It goes down as you add Google to the mix. It tanks completely if you don't take care of attribution, and it stabilizes if you do take care of attribution and do everything right. And making all those decisions at the right amount, right time is what helps you get your brand from 100 orders per week to 5,000 orders per week.